Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan and Vanessa, and to Bob and Eco America for bringing so many extraordinary voices. I've just so enjoyed the last couple days. I too am in Florida with the Gulf Coast on one side of me and the Gasparilla Sound on the other. This was the home and land of the Calusa peoples. It is now a part of Florida's Southwest Water Management District. This side of Florida's peninsula has beautiful mangroves, and if you close your eyes, you can feel the Everglades moving. Place is important. Sea level rise in Florida has been about 8 inches since the 1950s, and for the next little while, it will rise about 1 inch every 3 years. As Vanessa said, day 3 of the Eco America Climate Leadership Summit is about climate change and you. Climate change and me, climate change and us. It's really interesting to get personal about it. So the first thing I did was, where did I first reference it? I found on my computer, the first thing on my personal journal was in February 2003. I must have heard Jeffrey Sachs speak, who is a professor at the Earth Institute at Columbia University, because I have notes telling me that he said he was working on long-term climate change issues, and that our world will not be safe and will not be pleasant unless we step up to the plate. The first document on climate change I found on my computer was March 28th, 2003 Science magazine. It was called Abrupt Climate Change. It was a review. But I know that my relationship with this specter began earlier. I know it began in the 90s when I led a local Sierra Club group. And I know I talked about climate change to my mom group in Charlotte, and I know they looked at me kind of quizzically and humoring me. I remember a meltdown that I had on the shores of Lake Michigan in Chicago when the grief of biological destruction overwhelmed me. I know that my desire to enlist humanity in solutions compelled me to serve 9 years on the National Sierra Club board. Climate change and I bonded when the club was able to close down hundreds of coal-fired power plants as it turned its focus to climate and justice. When Hurricane Katrina hit in New Orleans in 2005 and forced Bob's and my daughter to find a new college, I thought, if we can make this connection from this human-induced disaster to climate change, people will wake up. Then in 2008, I took a class at MIT called Global Climate Change, Economic Science and Policy from MIT's 2 leading climate modeling experts. And this ushered in my second grief period. I think I cried every morning for 2 or 3 weeks. In 2011, Occupy Wall Street opened my eyes to the reality that the 1% had designed systems to protect an economy fueled by fossil fuels and that protected their investments. And this is a little one, but in 2012, the USDA changed the planting zones on its plant hardiness map, and I'm a gardener. And it was so bizarre, it just felt like everyone should get it then. This was the United States Department of Agriculture, like the Farmer's Almanac. It ought to have influence. And then in 2015, we moved past 400 parts per million. And I kind of stopped checking parts per million after that. So as Megan and Vanessa talked about some of the ways that they seek to walk the walk, I think we all have our pieces, big and little, that we contribute. Like many of you, I have a large collection of grocery bags, and consistent with my father's maxim, waste not, want not. Our heat is low in the summer, and the heat is low in the winter, and the cool is low in the summers. You too have probably recycled, composted, wrote letters to the editor, rode bikes, trains, buses, talked about climate change at Thanksgiving. Hats off to those who are vegan. I'm an aspiring one, but having grown up in Nebraska, I'm not there yet. When Bob and I moved to DC in 2010, we added solar thermal and solar PV to our roof. And DC had a clean energy purchase option, and we got an electric car. Today, I help people align their savings and investments with their values. And of course, be fossil free and not work with banks that finance pipelines or other fossil fuel projects. I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren, who will be adults in this brave new world. My relationship with climate change has had its highs and lows. I have felt triumphant, subdued, broken, humbled, and encouraged. Today, I seek to be courageous, and I am super grateful to be co-conspirators for justice with you, with nature, and with climate change, because she is teaching us how we must and can live with abundance and love on this planet. Today, I imagine we align ourselves in a flow and within Mother Nature's boundaries, caring for all of us, not just some of us, and those who have taken more, paying more. When I close my eyes sometimes and place my feet squarely on whatever surface is under me, I imagine the roots growing from my feet and intertwining with the roots of the trees and the things growing around me. I imagine my spirit and my voice joined with yours, joined with the millions of people, nonprofits, and some for-profits who care and who are every day reshaping their relationship with themselves and others and their relationship with the soil. So many of us are powerfully moving in the right direction, and so many of us are working effectively, hard, and from the heart. Together, we are a force against greed and malice, against profits over people, and we are joined in solidarity with each other and with nature. So I'm over my grief periods, and I am into courage. We are where we are, and I thank Mother Earth for being brutal and unforgiving, and for requiring us to rethink and find the ways to live in flow with each other and with her. So together, let's wallow in this power of camaraderie on this last day of Eco America's Climate Leadership Summit. It is a blessed day. Thank you.